Hey, everybody. I am very excited to introduce you to one of my really good friends. This is Fitz Johnson. He's married to Suzanne. And Fitz, I've always said that your credentials are pretty impressive. So let me see if I can do this, right? Like you graduated from the Citadel. You had a 20-year military officer career. You went into, you also have a law degree from the University of Kentucky. You have a master's in education from Troy University. You're a big dog businessman.
Right.
Here's what I really want to say, just because you and I are friends and we got to work together for a few years. I was pastor at Cumberland Community Church, and it was, we have this saying, we are redeemed messy people pointing other messy people to the gospel, right? Which is really cool. The only problem was, organizationally, we didn't want to be that messy.
Not my thing.
Right. Well, so what I don't think a lot of people know is I asked you probably way before I actually knew who you were and what all you've done and your tremendous pedigree. I asked you if you would consider being our executive director. And you actually said yes to that. Why did you say yes to that?
Oh, you're a mighty convincing soul.
Well,
you know, I'd been going to church there for, maybe a little over a year at the time. Loved what was going on at that church. And then when we started conversating about that, at the time, I had retired, I was officially retired. And so I was dabbling in little things. I had a little company and doing a little this, a little of that. And I felt, after talking with you about it and praying a lot about it, because I had never worked in a church and I wasn't sure how that was going to work out. But after much prayer and talking with Suzanne, we said, this is a great thing to do.
Well, and you did a great job. And let me just we'll end this little section like this by saying, by the time you had left, Cumberland was up around 1,000 people. You had helped transition from a location that was largely hidden to the middle of the community, massive relocation project. The church was, in debt by, a little bit north of $2 million, I think, when you started. And when you left, it was completely out of debt, had a big, chunk of cash in the bank, a brand new location. And so I just, you did a great job, and it was a lot of fun for me to
Thanks. Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun.
It was. All right. So I want to know how you've been handling the pandemic, because, you're running for office. You're county commissioner in District 2. The primary's coming up June 9th.
June 9th.
Yep.
Yes.
So not only do I think you have great insight, but I think a lot of people may want to know, but just how have you and Suzanne handled the coronavirus pandemic?
Well, it's been interesting, which I am sure everybody has a story of their own of what they've been doing when all of a sudden your life consists of the confines of your home. As Alan mentioned, I was out campaigning. So many folks don't know, but I actually came down with COVID-19, and so did my wife somewhat. She lost her taste and her smell and was achy for a few days. Meantime, I went down very hard, so much so I had to go to the hospital. And I will tell you, you don't want to experience. I hear people say, I wish I could just get it and get it over with. Right. You don't want to just get it and get it over with. Because there were days where I thought, this is not going to make it. But I'm so thankful to have had Suzanne, my wife, there to take care of me. Because if we both would have went down, I'm not sure how we would have functioned. I just don't know how that would have worked out.
Well, look,
thankfully, we are blessed to be healthy and on, back 100%.
Yeah. I talked to you when you were in the hospital, and you sounded horrible. Can I just say that? You sounded horrible. And And I also know that, I mean, you give out tremendous kudos to the healthcare workers, the doctors, the nurses, being a
Oh, yes.
board member on
Absolutely.
Wellstar. They did a great job with you.
You know, they did a fabulous job. And it, Suzanne said, I guess while I was there, I started texting. I said,
You did.
I know they took good care of me, but there were times where I wasn't sure, you know, who was doing what.
Yeah.
But let's give it to our healthcare workers out there on the front lines. They are, you know, every day they go out and risk coming down with the virus, thus risking death. So kudos to them for taking care of us and all the folks that they're out there taking care of. It's God's work. I will tell you
Yep.
that.
Yep. Amen, brother. So what helpful things have you guys been doing to just, I mean, you are not one to sit still. Like, you like to be busy. You like to be meeting people.
Yeah.
You like to be out. So what have you and Suzanne done to kind of help you deal with all of this?
Well, Suzanne came up with a projects list. So we've had plenty to do. We've had little projects, but here's what I will tell you: during this time, it has allowed us almost to, first of all, we're very blessed that Suzanne was able to work from home. I was able to run my campaign somewhat from home, and so we really had a lot of quality time, just kind of get to know each other, rekindle our spirit and our love for each other.
Right.
And then she came up with this task list. So we've been cleaning out closets, cleaned out my office, rearranged the garage, the storage area, just all these little projects. But it's allowed us to have time to spend with each other. Sometimes maybe a little too much time.
Yeah. Well, so you're still able to be busy, but you just have to be busy right there at the house.
Right there. And the other thing that we have done too is to reach out and try to help. Just try to help where we were. I was down for about almost 4 weeks, probably 3.5 to 4 weeks. But we've tried to reach out and feed some folks, volunteer where we could, and go out and celebrate some folks as well. School, some of the school teachers, Teacher of the Year, healthcare workers, our police department, those types of things. So that's been a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
but it's been good.
Well, by the way, I mean, congratulations, because you married so far out of your league. Oh my gosh! Oh my word! Let's see, how long have you guys been married now?
I think we're going on 5 years.
5 years? Who married you? Who did that?
This wonderful pastor.
Twice.
Lovely wife.
Twice.
Maybe 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we had to get married as a justice of the peace, and then, as you know, we went to Mexico. Right. The 4 of us all went to Mexico, and we got married in Mexico. And then Alan misplaced the paperwork, so we got married a 3rd time in a pizza place when we got back.
Hey, what do you? I know we're getting sidetracked here, but what do you remember most about the Mexico wedding? I know it. Do you remember?
Yes.
Look. Here, I'll tell the story. I mean, it's really cool. On the day that you and Suzanne got married, you got married in the morning. I mean, like first thing.
Right early. Yeah.
And then we were just chatting, and you've been thinking about this. And then later we baptized you in the ocean.
Yes, in the ocean.
But there just so happened to be a very happy Russian gal that we had met, and she was dancing around us as you were being baptized, as I baptized you in the ocean. Anyhow, that was pretty fun. Pretty fun. Hey, how has this affected your campaign? Because, man, from national to local, it just seems like it's shut down.
It has, but the process still has to take place. And so while normally we would have meet and greets out in the community, shaking hands, as they say, and kissing babies, and really talking to people face to face, touching them and letting them learn about me and me learn about them. It's gone to more of telephone calls, social media, mailers, texting. So all of the, keeping the social distancing. So it's really gone digital. And so it's interesting. And you know how I am. I like to have a measuring stick. So when I'm getting a task, I like to have a measurement. And
Right.
and with this, you can make all the calls and you can make all the contact. There's no way to measure how you are doing in the campaign. So that's a little worrisome, but I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting a lot of great people. And one other thing that's a little different is, when you're raising money, you like to meet with people and talk to them. And right now, you just don't know what position someone's in. Like
Yep.
you may call someone who you think is very wealthy, going through it, and they're always donating, but you may call them, and, their business may be closed, shuttered. They're got their kids back home from college. And it's not a good time for them.
Yep.
And so I haven't asked for money, and much to the chagrin of my campaign manager and my team, in quite some time. What I try to do now is just I'm calling people and having a conversation, telling them about me, and if they want to donate, if they mention they'd like to donate, I'm more than willing to say sure, but not asking for money at this time.
I'm sure we could probably put up a website or something here that if somebody wants to donate, we could tell them how. I mean, you wouldn't be opposed to that, right?
I don't want to.
Hey, your social media game it's going way up. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Your videos, and that's good.
You said I married up. And she is quite the social media person.
Yeah.
So we have teamed up I do a lot of the videos and pushing things to post, but she's all about getting it posted. And I'm learning though. I'm learning to reply and see what likes are and sharing a post. So I've received quite the education on social media. Now, mind you, I didn't even have a Facebook page or Instagram or anything before this started.
Right. No, she's doing a good job, and you're doing a good job.
Good.
You've upped your sign game throughout East Cobb and West Cobb.
Yeah, we're trying.
Smyrna, you're doing a good job. So, District 2.
Cobb County Commissioner, District 2.
Cobb County Commissioner. All right.
Yeah.
Now, just before we wrap up, people need to know you really are a man of faith, and you and I read the same devotional book by Paul David Tripp. That's just a gospel-centric book. Any verse? Have you carried around a verse, scripture, either for yourself or to help other people during the whole pandemic?
I do, and you know it. It's Hebrews 11:1. Faith. It's all about faith. Faith is right now. We've got to understand faith gives us confidence of what is unseen and to know it to be true. And in times like now and where we are, I believe I lean on that every day. I think God's plan for us, it's interesting that, you say, what would you think? Why would God do something like this? To me, it's a time of patience. And to understand and trust in him. And it's really allowed us to rekindle old friendships, rekindle just your inner faith in your family, co-workers, friends. How many, Zooms have we been on with old friends that we haven't talked to in a while? I mean, you see me calling you, not on the phone, but on FaceTime because I want to see your face. So it's really interesting. And another thing, not to get back into my campaign, but when I've had the opportunity to go out and see people, a 3 to 5 minute visit to drop off a card or put a sign in someone's yard turns into a 30, 45 minute conversation because they just want to talk to people, just want to see people. And that phone call that used to be 3 to 5 minutes is now, 15, 20, 25 minutes because people want to talk. Yeah. So I lean back on my faith on 11:1. Faith is right now.
Sure of what you hope for, certain of what you do not see.
Yes.
That's really good. It's just real fast. The thing I've always leaned into you, Fitz, was just your ability to help me to see beyond what has been a very white world, to see I mean, you've helped me to be educated, on how young Black men have to be trained of like the 6 or 7, 8 things that they have to kind of go through if they get pulled over by a police officer. I mean, just things that I've never had to think about. And so I've always asked you about current events. I've always asked you, is my thinking off, or help me with this? I think maybe people might want to know, do you have any thoughts? How have you handled the Ahmaud Arbery case out of New Brunswick, Georgia? Like, what's your thinking there?
Well, first I'll tell you, it really saddened me when I first saw that, and you think, my goodness, it's 2020, and I think of myself, I think of my dad, and I think of my kids, and I think of my grandkids, and I think me and my wife walk every day. If there's a house under construction, we've been in it. And it's not it's not out of the ordinary to do that. And so it saddens me that it's taken this long for it takes a video to bring it to justice. But I am a lawyer, and so we deal in facts, and we take the facts and we mingle it with the law to come up with a verdict. And so they do have an opportunity to defend themselves, but it's just so sad that young man, he's 25 years old, and he's jogging down the road, and his life has to end. And we get in discussions with some of my fraternity brothers. We talk and we say, well, would we have reacted different? And you say, you know what? I don't know. On one hand, you think, I'm just going to put my hands up and lay flat on the ground. But is he then just going to shoot me in the back?
Yeah.
Or do I try to tussle and take the weapon away? It's very sad. It's very sad. But appointing Joyette Holmes, our Cobb DA, to the case, there'll be a fair trial. They'll plow through all the evidence, and there'll be a just verdict in the end. And I just hope it's the right.
Yeah. Well, what I appreciate, and I guess what I would encourage anybody watching this is, you've given me the ability to process through you and with you to give me a broader perspective. And I guess I would really encourage a lot of people to go beyond your own perspective. Talk to somebody else. We were sitting in my living room talking about this, Sherry and Suzanne. So I really like that one. People need to know, because they're going to go, are these two how close are they? Do they really know each other? Can I just say that this man 2 days ago drove me and my daughter and I, down the aisle of a drive-in wedding
Which
Saturday.
Was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was. You guys pulled that off. That was just wonderful. How exciting, fun, cars everywhere. We got in a hug. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, good for them. That was great.
But I didn't want anybody else. If I had to have, somebody helping me take my daughter down the aisle, I was glad it was you. So I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for letting me talk to you and interview you, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Absolutely. Love you too, brother. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you. Bye.